I have a fucked up question.
Okay. Are you
Okay.
gonna ask me what my favorite scary movie is?
No, that's too predictable. And as we all know here at the Rollback Podcast, we are not predictable. Okay, so
Penis.
if we're about as predictable as the DC movie always being my number one film of the year. Speaking of number one film of the year, I believe we have that list coming out very soon, guys. Plug, plug, plug.
Plug,
Uh,
plug.
so this is gonna sound weird. Who's your favorite murderer?
Like fictional murder, I'm assuming.
It doesn't have to be fictional.
I don't
Okay.
have a favorite murderer.
Okay, fictional, nonfiction, murder documentary. Like, give me like who's your your most interesting story that makes you go wow, like anything.
Oh, I I think that's a question that I don't really have an answer to.
Really,
If I'm honest.
you don't have like a favorite like murder documentary or something?
Um, I'm fairly new in the true crime scene.
Mhm.
Not
But
didn't yeah not really big, not really big. I don't take a lot of part in it. I do. I did listen to the podcast Serial when it was coming out. When I was, I think I was I think it was a sophomore in college, and I heard that like every episode religiously. Never checked out the second season, so I guess I would have to say that. I've seen a couple of documentaries. I saw the one that Fernie recommended, the I Love You Now Die. I saw both parts of that one. That was kind of cool. I have been listening to a lot of the Morbid episodes, that podcast, but that's like the closest I get. So I don't really think I have a favorite or like a favorite story.
That's fair.
Which is weird because I was a psych major in college, and like 60% of everyone that goes into that major is like serial killers. But no, not this one. You?
The Zodiac Killer.
Okay.
Not because of the movie. Like the movie came out, like when the movie came out, I was like, oh, this better be good. Bear in mind, when the movie came out, I was 13. I was a fan of the Zodiac since I was like 8.
That's a weird thing to be a fan of at 8, at 8 years old.
A fan, I guess. Like in my no, that's a weird. That's even worse than being a fan in Meyer. No, just okay. The case like blew my mind because it's like you have this dude who's sending you like encrypted codes, dressed up. He's murdered at least confirmed, I think, like 5 people in the San Francisco Bay Area, and like you couldn't catch him. Like I probably saw that documentary like 20 times as a kid, and every time I'm like, what did they miss? Like, because I'm a dumbass kid. I'm like, maybe I can watch this and find the one clue that they missed. But no, there's no DVR or like VHS at the time of the thing. So like every time it comes on, I watch it and I'm like taking notes. Like, what about this? What about this? What was it?
Where did you watch it? Like on Open TV?
Yeah, Discovery Channel.
Discovery Channel. Jesus Christ, you were.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was like before or after you got into the WWE?
Way before WWE.
Okay, because I'm trying to like piece like how do you go from like wanting to solve the Zodiac Killer and then jumping into WWE? Like how do you go from this to that?
Because I could do the WWE.
Because like every boy I know like had a WWE face at around like 12, 13 years old. So like, was it around that time or like was it before?
WWE was around 11, 12. Fernie will testify. Fernie will say it right to your face that one of the great failures of his life is introducing me to the WWE.
Okay.
He regrets that so much. He's like, that's one of my few failures in life was doing that. That's one of my only real true regrets. Oh
God. Oh God. Because I'm trying to imagine like an 8-year-old boy just like trying to write notes and like they missed something.
Yeah,
like,
for real. I was like drawing pictures of the map. I'm like, wait, what if he went this way or that road? Maybe they have cameras over here. Like,
I'm fucking like imagining like an 8-year-old with like a bowl of like Lucky Charms, like dropping it like the end of The Usual Suspects, like the coffee mug, like you just drop it like when you're watching the documentary, like. like
I
when
gotcha,
everything pieces
bitch.
together.
For real. Oh man. So no. That was a thing.
That was you know what? I love glimpses into your personal life.
Well, so wait, so okay, what's your favorite murder movie then? Like, do you have a movie that you're like, oh, like
I don't like murder movies. I like
or like mystery movie? Like you what? You don't like Clue?
who the fuck doesn't like Clue?
There you go. That can be your favorite. How about Knives Out?
Knives Out's all right.
Murder on the Orient Express.
That was all right too. I don't know. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of these movies. I watch them like if one grabs my attention, but if I miss it, I don't stick it out. It's very rare that I stick one of those movies out. I don't know. It's not like my favorite thing, but if it's good, like I'll come here and I'll say like, hey, it's good. Chema stamp seal of approval. Which is why I kind of really love these movies, the Scream movies, because they're slasher films, but they're also like whodunits. like that's kind of the fun of it. So I do have one thing that I wanted to ask you, because we're gonna come into this review in very different perspectives. Because I rewatched all 4 of the original Scream movies in preparation for this one. I watched them with my sister because she's never seen any of them. So we watched them all together, and I just found out you've only seen the first one.
Yeah, no, never seen Scream 2 or 3 or Scream 4. Never saw any of them. Fuck Emma Roberts.
Jesus.
So
okay.
So yeah, 2 very different perspectives.
This is gonna be a very different perspective. So
ready?
Here we go.
Thank you for welcoming us onto your screens or onto your headphones, depending on how you're watching this. I'm Eddie.
And I'm Chema, reviewing Scream 5 2022. And this is the rollback.
So, Chema, what is your favorite scary movie?
Not this one.
Oh, shit. We're going to hit the ground swinging. All right.
So Scream or Scream 5 or Scream 2022 or Scream not directed by Wes Craven, it is always someone 25 years after a streak of brutal murders shocked the quiet town of Woodsboro, a new killer has donned the ghost face mask and begins targeting a group of teenagers to resurrect secrets from the town's deadly past. So like we were saying, this is the 5th movie in the Scream franchise, 5th if you don't count the horrible MTV show. And
I forgot that was a thing.
Everyone did. So, and we have the original cast returning. We have David Arquette, Courtney Cox, and Neve Campbell returning to play their original roles. We have new actors. We have new blood. It takes place today in 2020, 2022, 2021, and we don't know because it was delayed. And it is also the first movie that's not directed by Wes Craven ever since his passing in 2016. Scream 4 being the last movie he directed. So this movie has a lot that it has to do. It has to update Scream to work in this decade. It has to update with a new trick, with a new twist. And also it needs to be faithful to something that Wes Craven would have done. Wes Craven obviously being master of horror, creating icons such as Ghostface and Freddy Krueger. So how do you think the new Scream works?
This movie, I think for me, was way too much meta.
Okay.
It was meta to like the 5th degree. Like I even counted, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like they're even referring to real world movies because they are in the real world. Like it's so meta, but like not always necessarily in a good way. To a point where like at one part of the movie, they're watching, let me see if I can find the character. Miss Mindy Meeks is watching the first Stab movie in the famous scene where it's like, the killer's right behind you, don't go in there. Yeah. Where the dude is in itself watching a movie in the movie of someone coming up behind another person.
Yeah.
Like that's like what, one, two, that's three. That's three levels of meta in one shot.
I'm gonna quote the infamous scene from Deadpool, but like, ooh, fourth wall break instead of fourth wall break. That's like 16 wall.
The 16th wall. And then we also have like stupid Dewey and Deputy Vincent. Like, I just, oh my god, man, there's so much in this, and I don't know where to start. I really don't.
Okay, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start the same way that we started the Encanto review. I'm gonna start disagreeing with you. Yeah, the movie was meta, but all of the Scream movies are meta. In fact, every movie got more meta the more every time there was a new movie. So the only way that this movie could go was up. So
was quad meta?
Yeah, that's what it needed to be. If it was just another slasher movie, then it wouldn't have been Scream. It wouldn't have been a good tribute to Wes Craven, and it wouldn't have worked in the continuity of what has been established. So the fact that this movie is like meta to the 10th level, it needed to be. It couldn't have been any other way.
Also, quick question: is there a reason why the character's last name is Carpenter? Like, is that in reference to like John Carpenter?
Absolutely.
Okay, I figured that. Shit. So where do we start? Do you want to talk about the opening scene?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you think? Like, what did you think? Was it like a pretty good take, a modern version take of like what happened to Miss
Drew Barrymore?
Yeah, Miss Drew Barrymore in the original.
So here's the thing: every Scream movie starts with a kind of with a new take on that scene specifically. For anyone that doesn't know, the original Scream was targeted as like every poster had Drew Barrymore, so it was like Drew Barrymore everywhere. So the movie was just targeted and advertised and everything around her, like she was the star of the movie, and she's killed in the first like 10 minutes. So imagine being an audience member coming into the movie where she's the face of the poster and she dies in the first 10 minutes, and you're like, wait, what the fuck happens now? Like, like what happens now? Yeah. So
was that part of it? Like, was that part of like what made Scream such a big deal? It was like, oh fuck, they killed Drew Barrymore in the first 10 minutes. I gotta see this.
Yeah, like people didn't know what was gonna happen. So that's the magic of Scream. It just keeps setting something up and then doing something that you really don't see coming. And so every Scream movie starts like that. The second one does kind of a similar thing. The third one does as well, and the fourth one has this like movie within a movie within a movie with people just killing each other, like, oh, because it's another stab movie. The thing that this movie does different is that Ghostface calls a young girl alone at home, does the game of what's your favorite scary movie, threatens to kill someone, and then kills her. The twist in this one is that she doesn't die. That's the twist.
What about the thing where like the lock and unlock thing? To me, that threw me way the fuck off. Like, oh shit,
that was great. That was very 2022. Yeah. That's something that this movie does really well, because the other four movies are good slasher fun movies. This one, the kills felt brutal.
In this one,
the same way that in the last two Halloween movies, the kills have felt very brutal. This one did as well. Like every time you felt you saw him stabbing someone, you felt the sting of that knife. And it worked in this one, because when she survives, you're like, okay, so I guess that's the twist. She's surviving. That never happens. Okay, so that's how the movie started, with like a right foot, because like that's the thing that hasn't happened yet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's called? Did it throw you off at all when they started? So moving forward a bit, we are introduced to I would say is the main character, Miss Sam Carpenter.
Yeah.
She's
played by Melissa Barrera. Yeah.
Which she made us proud.
She's a good actress. She was great in that show, Club de Cuervos on Netflix. She was great in that.
what's it
Yeah.
called? She's apparently the son of what's his name?
Daughter
Oh,
of
so she's the daughter of what's his name? The killer from the original.
he's a killer in the first movie. He is Skid Ulrich, Bill Loomis. Yeah.
So she's Loomis's daughter,
Yes.
and secret, tore apart the family. She gets the phone call, "Hey, your sister's been attacked, but she's alive." Did they try to kill Sam, did they try to kill Tara, or was it more like they were just trying to injure her enough to get her to come back, to get the other one to come back?
If we're gonna jump into spoilers, yeah, they were trying to lure her back, as we know by the end of who did it,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was I gonna say? And then so she comes back, and then they straight out make the joke of Richie, like, it's always the scorn lover. How long have you known him? 6 months? Yeah, just long enough. And he's like, what the fuck? Which I kind of believed him. I was on his side a bit there.
Yeah. What's Richie is played by Jack Quaid, who's the son of Dennis Quaid. He's
Is that the guy from The Boys? Am I right or am I wrong?
I don't know. I haven't seen The Boys.
What?
Yeah.
Now I need to check. No, I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah, I don't know if he's in The Boys. Oh yeah, he's in The Boys. Yeah.
He is the guy from The Boys. Yeah, he is that guy.
Yeah. He's great. He's been popping up in a lot of roles, and there's something really interesting here, because you have to kind of like discount everything that has happened in the previous movies to be like, okay, well, they already did that, so they can't do it again. And then when we got to the scene at the end where they're kind of like all kind of punning at each other, like, it's not me, it's him, I genuinely didn't know who it was, and the movie made a good job at letting the tension rise, and then also like letting everything kind of work out together. Mm-hmm. Because in the original one, it is the boyfriend. It's Sam's dad. It's him and Matthew Lillard, who played Shaggy in the Scooby-Doo movies. So it's the two of them. And in this one, they do something kind of similar. And yeah, you kind of feel for the boyfriend, because he's like, oh, he's kind of supportive, but why is he there? Like, if you're in a 6-month relationship, like you're allowed to get the fuck out if there's murder involved, I think.
I don't know. So you're telling me if the woman that would eventually become your wife 6 months in was like, hey, there's some murders going down back in my own place, I got to go deal with this, you tap out?
There are 8 billion people in the world. There's 8 billion people in the world, and I found my soulmate a couple of streets from where I was born. Nah, don't think so. Don't think so.
Fair.
Don't think so. So, so yeah. So, shout out to Daniel Sloss and his special on Netflix, who gave me that great line. Yeah, there's something here. Something that we have to consider is also that this is fiction. So there is like a part of me that is like, I don't know what I would do in the situation, but it's fiction. That's why it's fun. But that's why metafiction is also fun. Because anything could happen, really. Like, the rules are always being rewritten in these movies.
Yeah.
So we have this like little group of friends. And when we see the young boy Wes, who's obviously named after Wes Craven, immediately when he said like, I'm worried, I don't know, like I went, he's a killer. I immediately thought that he was the killer.
Yeah.
And then he gets killed, and I'm like, okay, it wasn't him.
But see, I think that goes to masterful writing. They were like, okay, I think they did the Pixar thing where they said, who's the most likely killer in this friend group that we're making? Him?
Yeah.
All right, kill him first and make it really stressful. You
felt that it was kind of, it was almost kind of like okay that they killed him without letting him see his mom.
I thought they were gonna let him see his mom, like, just to like be more torturous. I thought he was gonna be the dumbest. I was like, I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna kill him. Like, I thought that, and then for it to just be like, and the kill was brutal. Like, the knife going through his neck and through the skin, you could see it. It's just like, I was shocked when I saw that. I'm like, oh fuck, they're going all the way with this.
Mhm.
I mean, good for
Yeah.
them. It was practical effects, good for them. But like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, the movie was a little stressful, like on the like on the kills, because it was it went for it. It went pretty out there, and I was getting concerned because it's like, okay, so that's how they're adapting. It's like the new age. They have to they have to
Up,
not make it cheesy anymore. Yeah,
they have to up the murders. They have to up the
yeah,
violence,
yeah.
which they did. Even I noticed, like, Jesus, these murders are brutal.
Yeah. When okay, we need to talk about David Arquette and his character Dewey Riley. So he's one of the biggest breakout stars of the franchise. Him and Courtney Cox and Neb Campbell. He gets killed in this movie, and it's sad because he's a legacy character. He's a flagship character. He's the Han Solo of the Scream franchise, and
He got Han Soloed.
he got Han Soloed, yeah, in exactly the same way that Han Solo got Han Soloed. But it was brutal because in all the movies, he's been stabbed in all of the movies. Okay, that's like the thing. But on the first movie, he gets stabbed on like the nerve, like right on his back.
Yeah,
and he has a limp for the whole franchise. And on this one, he gets stabbed in the front and then in the back at the same time. And I don't say this often. Yeah, and I don't say this often. Beautifully executed death. It was it was proper. It was kind of artistic. I even kind of love how cheesy it was when he gets stabbed and then the new Ghostface just goes, "It's been a pleasure." Like just
yeah. It was an honor.
It was an honor. I think that line really made you believe how into the new killers are, how deep they are into this. That the fact that they killed this character that they love because they love him, but they're doing this out of insaneness. I think them going like it's an honor. Like that was weirdly very artistic. I don't know how to explain it. Like it really worked for me.
No, I get you. I hear you.
And like my stupid A24 film dude brain, like it worked. I don't know how, but I liked it. Also, I gotta talk about this. The costume for Ghostface, it's the same costume, but it looks better. It looks premium. Like the mask looked way more high quality, and the black coat had like sparkles. Did you notice that?
Yes, actually, I did.
Yeah, it had like those sparkles.
Wait, did it have? Oh shit, I remember that. Yeah, I did have sparkles. Yeah. The sparklies.
Yeah, it looked kind of nice. It looked sleek. But yeah, so Deputy Dewey or Sheriff Dewey, or I guess now just Dewey. Yeah, he dies in this movie, and yeah.
We're pulling out for Dewey.
Pulling out for Dewey. This is an audio podcast. There's a
hold on. It's just a little bit. Yes, pour one out for Dewey.
All right, there it is. So yeah. So he was fun. He was great while we got him back. So that's the scene that I'm going to take with me. Like that it's an honor. Like I love that scene. Yeah.
I was actually really proud of them when they killed him. I'm not happy to see a character die, but it's like,
if it's done right. If it's done right, well done.
Honestly, I would have respected them more if they had taken out Cindy as well. Sydney and Courtney Cox. If they had killed all three of them in the same pill, I would have been like, well played.
If it had been,
because there's no going back
properly. Yeah, if it has been as proper as the Dewey death, then I would have taken it. Yeah, I agree.
So I want to talk about, there was like two specific overly meta scenes that I want to talk about.
Okay.
The first one is when they assemble the friends and Dewey's still alive. Sam's there, and they're like,
love that scene.
And no, but dude, like, what the fuck? Like, even Mindy says, "Wait, so we're in a requel?" And they're like, "What? Like, Well, it's kind of a debate between film fans. I'm like, oh my god, no, 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 no. And then she says it's not a sequel, but it's not really a prequel, and it's not a reboot. It's a weird like in between where like they have to bring back the legacy characters, ones from the original, but the new blood, that's us. And ideally speaking, one of us should be the killer. So someone here in this room is it. But like she also like criticizes like the new Chucky, the new Black Christmas, like this, all this people hated. But then you have the new Halloween movie coming back after so long, like that's a direct sequel to the original. Like it was so meta, but it got to a point where it's like, you're mocking me, aren't you? Like it felt not like a shot to the fans, but like I don't know, man. It was weird. It was so weird.
I adore that scene.
Really?
Because it's kind of remember when we talked about that movie Malcolm and Marie with Zendaya and John David Washington, and we reviewed it, and I told you this movie feels critic proof. Like I feel like I cannot criticize it because of how it explicitly paints critics, like movie critics. This gave me the exact opposite reaction. I had a huge smile on my face. Because as much as I love movies and I love sitting here and talking about movies, I can hate our community sometimes. Okay. It can drive me up to the fucking wall with their fucking arguments and their fucking disagreements. I cannot with them most of the time. So that specific conversation felt meta in the right way. I even love the little dig they took at Rian Johnson. Did you notice it?
No, tell me.
Okay, so there's a moment where she goes, everyone hated the last Stab movie because it basically didn't do any of this. It was just they changed everything and no one liked it, and it kind of spit in the fans' faces. And another character goes, "Is that the one that was directed by the same guy who did Knives Out?" Meaning Rian Johnson.
Oh, I did catch that.
Yeah, and she goes, yes. And the other girl goes, oh, I like that one. And she goes, of course you did. You have horrible taste. They're talking about Rian Johnson because he directed
the Star Wars.
Yeah, the Star Wars, and everyone hated that. So even I, who kind of like that movie, can be like, that was good. That was good. That was good. That was a good one. Yeah, it was nice. It was a nice little tribute, and it was nice to know that hell, even the way the movie starts with Tara receiving the call from Ghostface and being asked about horror movies, and she goes, "Oh, I like elevator horror. I like Jordan Peele. I like Hereditary. I like The Witch." And it's like that would be the exact same thing I would answer if I got called and asked that. That's the problem. And
but like, do you
this
think
this movie spoke directly to me in that sense?
But again, like moments like that were a little too meta for me. That made me go like, really, that's where we're gonna go. Like, I don't hate it, but also like there was almost too much of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge kind of thing, like to the audience. No, it's not. It's elevated horror. Also, why the fuck are you talking to this stranger over the goddamn phone?
That's the joke. That's everything that all these movies have like stood in front of. Yeah.
And like, why do they keep doing it? Like, if you've seen the Stab movies, right? The Stab movies are in that universe.
Yeah.
Hey, in this world, we say, "Have you seen Scream?" In that world, the same should be, "Have you seen Stab?" Get off the phone. Just like Jesus Christ.
Eddie, when you watch football, do you get angry when the players play football?
Yes.
Why am I trying to argue with you? You were an 8-year-old who liked the Zodiac Killer.
Don't argue with me. Don't at me, son.
No, I mean, you can't complain about, the Scream movies are too meta. They're meta. That's their thing. That's like complaining about why Deadpool is meta.
In my defense, the first Scream was meta, but like it was tasteful. Like it wasn't overly meta. Like as I understand it, and I guess maybe you're right, they've only gotten more meta as the movies keep going, right?
because they need to. If they just did the same thing over and over, then it wouldn't really be fun. The whole point of the Scream movies is that it's not every sequel. It's not like it's not just the same concept with new people. It's the same people. It just happens in a different way, and that happening a different way is what makes them fun. Is what makes them good. So the fact that this one went meta to the wall. It didn't felt like whiplash to me because all the other movies kind of prepared me for that, you know. So to me, that doesn't feel odd. It feels normal. It's a normal progression to this point. Yeah.
And then they bring in Sydney and whatnot. Courtney Cox. Apparently, Courtney Cox and David Arquette's characters like separated
because they're separated in real life too.
I wonder if it was awkward for them to film all of this, or they're like on good terms. I hope they are. I think they are.
They're on good terms. They have a kid together.
On the documentary, You Can't Kill David Arquette, they were on good terms. So
yeah. Also, they were separated by the time they did 4. So they're still on good terms. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah. But yeah, okay. So, did you catch it immediately when they got into the house that they were in the same home? Because I caught that immediately. I was like, I was looking at the people walking out. I'm like, bullshit. And they keep doing bullshit, and then go up the stairs. No, and then Sydney's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And it's like, it's the same house. I'm like, "Yep, I knew it. I knew during the party scene. I was like, that's the same house, isn't it?"
I didn't catch it. I got it at the same time that the characters did it. That was good. That was good. I liked it. There was a little Easter egg thing. The character who died, who's played by Dylan Minnette, his name is Wes, who's obviously named after director Wes Craven. There is a moment where they're in the party, and the party is like a tribute to him, and there's a huge sign that says "For Wes," and that sign is present the entire time they're at the party, and throughout the entire time that they're shooting like that scene at the end when they're like kind of like killing each other. I felt like that was on purpose. Like they on purpose were making that same scene from the first one, but they had a big sign that said "For Wes" back in the background. That I really liked. Yeah.
Can you educate me for a sec? Because I'm not as movie buff as I would say. I'm movie buff in certain terms, not always in everything.
Yeah.
Wes Craven. Yeah. What were some of his big contributions? I know the Elm Street franchise. I know that. But like, what else did he do?
What else did he do? Well, he did all the Scream movies.
Mm-hmm.
So like, he directed all of them. He directed, I think, most, if not all of Freddy Krueger movies. He directed the original The Hills Have Eyes. He did like a bunch of horror movies. He did Shocker. He did Curse. I think he did My Soul to Take. No, but that was recent. That was in like 2010. Yeah, mostly horror movies. I think he did like a Paris French movie that I never saw. He did a Swamp Thing, I think.
Oh shit, he did the last house on the left. Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah.
People Underneath the Stairs. Red Eye. Oh fuck, Red Eye fucked me up.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wait, he directed Freddy vs. Jason?
I don't think so.
It says he was involved in that at least.
He probably like produced or something, or he had to be in the room because they were using his character.
Oh, probably. Oh yeah, he probably got okay, fair.
Yeah. But Wes Craven is also like a person that like the community just adored. He was a constant crowd pleaser and he was an original man,
Yeah.
So he was, of course, very important to like the genre.
I mean,
of course, when he died, like it was a horrible thing. Yeah,
it was a significant loss.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad people. I mean, if they respect him, I mean, they feel like this was done in a tasteful manner. I'm good for him.
Yeah, which I agree. If the movie was bad, it was bad. But if it would have been a bad tribute, then that really would have sucked.
Fair. So quick question. By the end, did you know it was going to end up being Richie and what's her face? Not Tara.
The other one?
Amber?
Not at all. Did not see coming. You?
I actually saw Amber coming. I didn't see Richie, but I saw Amber coming. Just because of how obsessive she was over Tara and like, hey, fuck off, like to her sister. Amber kind of I kind of figured she was in on it. I thought, okay, for sure she's the killer. She's one of the killers. There has to be at least a second one though.
Yeah.
And Richie, it kind of threw me off. I didn't think it was him because he got slashed. I'm like, okay, then it's probably Mindy. Because they had that moment when they were downstairs of like, can't trust anyone. And it's like, then should I be trusting you? No.
Yeah.
Like,
that thought crossed my mind, but then I thought that would be too obvious. No, it has to be someone else.
The thing is, they were all obvious choices though. Like if it was Liv, it'd be like, oh, that's unearned. Like she barely had any screen time. You know, like if it was Chad, again, it wouldn't be earned because like he didn't really have enough. Like there was no way. They were the only two realistic options where it would be like, okay, fair enough, we couldn't figure it out. Rather than, oh, you just picked someone at random, you just flipped the coin. You know what would have been really fucking sick?
Yeah.
If they pulled a clue
and put like different endings in everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been dope.
Imagine there was one ending where it was Amber, one ending where it's Richie, and one ending where it's I don't know, fucking Mindy.
Yeah.
Or Liv. Like, imagine like 3 different endings. It's like, who the fuck is it, guys? We don't even know. None of this canon.
Before the movie was released, I thought, okay, I was kind of like just making theories in my head. I was like, okay, who could be like a good twist to be the killer? And I thought, what if in this movie, in the 5th Scream movie, Sydney's the killer? Like, I thought, how poetic justice would it have been if she's like, you know what? I had enough time to get even. You know?
Sydney? Jesus Christ.
Like, that would have been sick.
Oh my God. And imagine. I guess you can't do it. No, but imagine it's also a moment where it's like, when you have kids, it's like, we separated because I couldn't let this shit go. Yeah. It's like, yeah, sounds about right.
Would have been dark. Would have been dark. Yeah.
So, okay, quick question though. Is this Scream, is it more of a Halloween or is it more of a Dumb and Dumber 2?
It's more of a Halloween. Definitely. I think this movie is a hit. I think this movie really works in both being fun by itself. It's fun as a tribute to Wes Craven. It's good as part of the all-encompassing Scream franchise. I don't think it's good if you've never seen a Scream movie. Mm-hmm. I think you're gonna miss out on a lot of things that are very important. Mm-hmm. But if you're gonna have like a night where you're gonna watch all 5 of them, all of them 5 work well. Like you don't need to skip any of them. Mm-hmm. Like I think if you're gonna sell like a box set with all 5 of them, no one's gonna complain that it's there. It's another good step in the franchise. It's not they made another one. It's part of the mythos. It's part of the story, and in my opinion, it really works. You?
What's it called? I mean, I have no beef with the film. I guess maybe because I never really bothered to watch the other ones. Like they were never on my radar. Like I was like, I saw the first one. I'm like, this is good. I'm not gonna watch the other ones because I remember seeing like 1 minute of a scene from I think Scream 2, where it's like Sabretooth is the killer.
Oh, he's in all of them. Yeah.
No, Sabretooth?
Yeah.
He's in 2, 3, and 4?
He's in 1, 2, 3, and 4. No, he's in 1, 2, and 3. Yeah.
Is he in 1? Is he in part 1?
For like a second, yeah.
Okay, well, no, so when part 2 came out, I just remember seeing something like, is he the killer or not? Like they're doing this really schlocky thing of like, they're on a stage, it's like, who's the murderer, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, nope, not gonna disgrace the first one and turn it off. Like I didn't want to ruin the memory of the first one. And to me, mentally. I was younger when I did that, but still.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. There's just so much going on. And
there is.
Quick question. Did you take the whole so there's a second scene where they go all meta where they have Gail Weathers, they have Sidney Prescott, and they have Miss Sam Carpenter all in the kitchen, right? They're about to kill him. They're about to do the thing that they did from the first one, where it's like, oh, get ready to hide the bodies, guys, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they have a moment where it's like, I feel like almost they're talking to us in a sense of like toxic fandom. Like, they would just, Stab 8 was just a cash grab. Yeah. But they didn't think about the people that actually love the franchise. It sounded like almost like a Reddit, like a subreddit was going off.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're talking about toxic fandom, aren't they? You sons of bitches. Go on.
And you know what? The toxic fandoms need to listen to that.
No, we don't. We're perfect.
Yes, they do.
We're perfect.
I was not bothered by that scene because I was listening to that and I was like, oh, preach. Yes.
I'm not saying not.
Show how toxic those assholes are. Like, show it. Yeah.
I'm not saying that there's no toxic fandom. I'm just like, is this where we're going with this? Is this the direction? Okay, fine. I will go with you just a little bit further.
It makes sense because look, the Scream movies have always like adapted themselves around that specifically. When Scream 2 was coming out, the script was leaked on the internet. And this was in like 1997. So it's not like it was like before, okay?
Yeah.
So if a script gets leaked, like the internet is not the place that it is now. So what Wes Craven did was like, oh, they leaked the script? Okay, I'm going to change it, but I'm not going to tell them. Mm-hmm. So he changed the script and he shot new scenes. And so when people went to see it, they were shocked because they were like, oh, some things were still here, some things were not. And then when they did the third movie is about how they're making a Stab movie, and they reference that in there. They're like, oh, we had the script, but we have to reshoot a bunch of scenes because the script got leaked on the internet. And like that is how the movie proactively always works around the audience and around its own mythos, its own existence. So the fact that this movie addressed directly toxic fandominity, it was the logical next step.
So much better.
Oh, good?
Yeah, sorry, I was having to pee for like the longest fucking time. I was holding it. No, for real, I was holding it for a while, for at least like 25, 30 minutes. I timed myself peeing. You know how long it took me to pee? 45 seconds.
That's staying on the show.
Deal. And we're back. So, toxic fandom.
So, toxic fandom. Yeah, it needs to be addressed. And I think the movie did a good job. Will it do any change? Of course not. But it was nice to feel for a second represented on screen. You know, it was good.
It's crazy. Is toxic fandom such like a big deal? Like
Yes.
I think my interaction with toxic fandom is relatively limited. Like I don't know when that's been a thing or how we'll define it. Like they just like we don't like these movies because we do that all the time.
Star Wars.
No, but like what? Like what was so toxic about it though?
Oh my god! There was a.
I'm very much on the outside looking in, so like I'm an amateur. Like tell me everything.
Yeah. Let me give you a couple of examples. When Last Jedi came out, somebody made a cut of the movie that recut everything to not include any female character in the whole movie, and they released that online. And I think the movie only lasted like 40 minutes, maybe less, from like a movie that's like 2.5 hours. There was like an ongoing campaign to fire Kathleen Kennedy, who's a producer I think she's the president of Lucasfilm, because they were like, oh, she's ruining Star Wars. It's all her fault. Like it's not her fault, you know.
The whole property is shit.
Yeah, no.
That's thing on the show too.
That was really funny to me because it was like Disney's ruining Star Wars. Oh, but you like Mandalorian? Yeah. Like, who do you think beat that?
You fucking
you fucking idiot. There was like they bullied the actress who played Rose. Also in Star Wars, they bullied her on social media because they just hated her character so much. They just kept like bullying her. Which like she's just an actress. She's just doing her job. Like,
did she come back for the third one or no?
Yeah, she did, but
good for
her role was I mean, she's the voice of Raya. Yeah.
Really?
Actually, yeah. So she kept going. They just kept just doing horrible things. Like the Star Wars, like I grew up on Star Wars. I cannot for the life of me hate Star Wars, but God, I hate the fandom. I don't engage with the fandom anymore. This is why I very rarely discuss Star Wars even now. Like I don't like even the positive things. I don't want to talk about them because like the fandom is horrible. So yeah.
And is this for everything? I'm gonna assume if it's Star Wars, there has to be toxic fandom for DC, for Marvel. It has to be toxic fandom for everything.
Absolutely, like and it is like I have a tendency to just keep finding really wonderful things that are attached to horrible fandoms.
But where does all this shit go down? On Reddit?
Reddit, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook if you're lucky. Mostly there. That's why I so rarely engage. Like this is the most that I get out of engaging with like the fandom, and I don't engage with the fandom. I engage with you because like this is what I
toxic about now. Something.
Yeah, no, because like that's the thing, and there's toxic fandoms everywhere. Like I like for example, you know this. I'm a big anime fan. Like I love anime. I grew up on it, and I still love it now. Throughout the entire pandemic, a lot of people that weren't into anime got into anime, probably because they were bored, probably because they were like locked up inside and they were like, well, you know what, I might as well give this a shot. A lot of people got into anime during the pandemic, which I say, great. Anime is fucking great. You want the thing that you like to succeed. A lot of people that I know that like anime got pissed. They were like, oh, this fucking fake fans coming out of nowhere. They think they like it just because it's popular. Good. If you like something, you want it to be successful. So why are you upset that people like it? That is toxic fandom, and I hate it.
But that's stupid because then you'll get more of it. Like that
Exactly.
that's like with Marvel or DC. Like I wasn't all pissy when the MCU or the DCU started, or like people started liking Batman. Like no, start loving it. That way they'll make more of this shit. Like I want to go see more of these movies. Give them your money. Like that's stupid.
Yeah, I remember being like 14, 15 and having to go like the closest that I could get to like finding anime stuff or like anime merch in like the wild. There used to be a store in your mall, my mall, everyone's mall.
Suncoast.
A little store. Yes, a little store called Suncoast. They sold movies at the front and they sold anime shit in the back. Okay. And that was the closest that we got. And then if you go to that same mall now, you can go to like 5, 6, 7 different stores so you can find anime shit in the forefront.
Yeah.
And we don't get that if people don't like it. If Netflix doesn't pick up a bunch of anime and makes it popular, if we don't get a Crunchyroll or Funimation there, we need things to get popular in order to get it everywhere else. And the fact that people are gatekeeping or being toxic about these things just because it gets popular, it's fucking stupid. And Wes Craven would spit on your face if he was still alive. So yeah, I don't like gatekeeping and I don't like toxic fandom. So the fact that this movie addressed it and said, hey, no, you're the bad guy, that got like my seal of approval. Because like I see this shit every day.
I'm so glad I'm not on
Reddit. Sucks every day.
I'm so glad I'm not on Reddit.
Yeah. No, Twitter's worse. Like Reddit, at least you can control what you see, but on Twitter, oh god.
Really? I've never seen any hateful shit on Twitter.
Oof.
Am I the very sheltered child?
No, you're good. Maybe I just follow too many people. Maybe I'm the problem. It's me. Am I the problem? Maybe I'm the problem.
Yeah, there's some victim blaming here. Let's jump back into Scream. The big climactic fight scene is properly stressful. I really thought they were going to kill Sydney.
Me too.
Like I
thought that as well.
I was kind of hoping they would, though. Not gonna lie.
Why?
The balls on this franchise to kill off not one, not two, but all three. Like imagine if they killed Sidney Prescott and Gail Withers and Dewey Prescott. I mean, and Dewey. I'm sorry, not Dewey Prescott, but imagine if they killed the big three in this film. They killed off Ron, Harry, and Hermione. Boom, one shot, kill all three of them. Can you imagine like what would happen in the next Scream? Like, well, fuck, we don't have the legacy characters anymore. What can we do? Well, what are they gonna do?
I don't think they're gonna do another Scream. I think
everyone thought that when after the fourth one came out.
Yeah. No, I think the fourth one when it ended, it left in a position to do another one. Not this one, I think. Or it would be like really funny if they did like one when they're like in their 80s or something. I think that would make a lot of sense, but not now. I think this one's good. Yeah.
See, I thought it would have been funny if Dewey had called Sydney and he had been like, it's happening again, and she's like, God damn it, and then just goes home, gets her gun. All right, I'm on my way.
Yeah, like, they did that movie. It was called Halloween, and
and it was good. Yeah. So, is this better than Halloween?
I like this one more than Halloween, honestly. I like the Halloween requel, but it wasn't like my favorite thing in the world. I thought the same thing about the sequel. Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I think Halloween Kills. It's the second best sequel to the original Halloween ever made. I would say the 2018 one is the best one. 2021 is probably the second best as far as like the sequels to it.
All right.
I
think it's fine. Yeah.
I cannot wait till Halloween ends. Halloween dies.
I want to see it. I want to see it. I'm not excited that they're tackling like the pandemic in the story. I don't want to see movies tackle the pandemic, but I went off on that when we did the Halloween Kills review. If you want to see me go off on that, check that out.
Hey, fun fact.
Yeah.
Sidney Prescott and several of the key people involved in this film have all expressed interest, a lot of interest actually, in making a sequel.
Oh, it's a dangerous game, but I mean, if they do it right, if they do it tastefully, if they don't fall into the cliches that they are making fun of, then great, go for it. Sky's the limit, really.
Oh, and so far as of this year, Scream is actually the highest grossing film of the year so far.
Well, yeah, because everything else that's been released has been shit. It's January. It's January. That's what it is. It's just this and Belle and a couple of things. We'll talk about Belle next week, but yeah. But yeah, that's been mostly it. Do you have any closing thoughts or anything else?
No, just it was a fine movie. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't amazing to me. It was just it was a good movie. Didn't blow my mind, but then again, I'm not the biggest Scream fan, so that might just be it.
Yeah. I had a fun time with it. I had an enjoyment. I think Scream 4 is still my favorite. Then Scream 1, then this one, then 3, then 2. I think that's how I would rank them. Not that the internet needs more ranking list, which is a statement that I'm going to regret because we're going to do our top 10 list in a couple weeks. So I would score this a good 8.8 out of 10. I had a ball. I had a nice time. This is technically the first new 2022 movie of the year that I've seen. Mm-hmm. So that was fun. That wasn't like released like direct to video or anything. But yeah, I had a good time. You?
It's fine. Didn't hate it. Didn't love it, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah. Score?
C+. I'll probably rewatch it at some point. I didn't love it as much as I loved the new Halloween back in 2018, but nonetheless, solid movie.
I feel like you'll get a bigger appreciation if you've seen the three, and then because it's not like the Halloween that's a sequel to the first one. Like this one really takes a lot of things from every movie that has come out.
They build on each other.
Yeah.
Has there been a bad Scream movie technically?
No. I think all 5 are good movies.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. I think my least favorite is the second one, but not because it's bad. It's just out of the 5, it's like the least that I enjoy. Mm-hmm. But it's got, I think, the most tense scene in all of the movies. So
what's the scene?
It's a scene where they're in a car and Ghostface is driving, and Sydney is in the back. There's her roommate that's also in the back, and the car crashes.
Mm-hmm.
And Ghostface is like in the driver's wheel, but he's like knocked out, or so we think. We don't know. Mm-hmm. And they need to get out of the car, but they can't go on either side, so they have to like kind of like go to the front and then they can't go through this side, so they have to go through like the side where he's to like the driver's seat.
Yeah.
And the scene is super long, and you don't know if like he's pretending he's gonna stab them, mm-hmm. or if he's actually like knocked out. And you can really feel like the tension in that scene. Yeah. So that scene, chef's kiss, really wonderfully done. Yeah.
Damn,
yeah, and it's probably the actual like most like dramatic like tension scene in like the whole franchise, because the kills are usually they're done well, but they're done like, you know, it's a slasher movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that to me is like the most tense scene in the franchise. Yeah.
Well, shit, I gotta watch that now.
Yeah. Just look up Scream 2 car scene, and I think you'll find it. Yeah.
Down.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to hear more about our thoughts on movies, check out all of our feeds. We're available on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, wherever we can give out horrible opinions. We are there.
Agreed. There will be some YouTube videos going out hopefully this weekend, the same weekend as the time this video drops. Like, subscribe. We're always trying to grow the channel. Also, folks, we are affiliated with Ghost Energy. Go Ghost.
Yeah, shout out to the Ghost. Yeah, so next week we have a review of the anime film Bell, which is Mamoru Hosoda's new movie, which I've seen. You're seeing, when are you seeing it?
Tuesday.
So you see Tuesday. Jimmy will join us for that review. Jimmy is in the movie as well.
Badass.
So triple threat next Saturday here at the Rollback. If you like anime, we're going to talk about the movie. If you don't like anime, it's a good one. So check it out and support it in theaters, because that way we get more. And in a couple weeks, I'm thinking halfway through February, we're going to do our top 10 list a little bit before the Oscars. So be excited for that, because 2021 was a weirdly good year for movies. So
I feel like when you go from a year with almost no movies to like a year with like a handful of great ones.
Too many, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be here for that. Keep us on your radar.
Bye, everybody. Oh, this is the Rollback with a reminder.
My name was Chema. This is Eddie signing off with the Rollback with a reminder to just be a nice fucking person. I don't have a very original one. Just be a nice fucking person.
Also,
are we doing like fusion?
Yes. Hold on. Okay. I have one. Folks, even though it's cold outside, make sure you wear deodorant. Bye, everybody.
As a person that goes to a lot of anime conventions, yes, please wear deodorant.
And cut there.